everybody, and welcome to Moto3. We've just had a crash on the grid. Let's go down straight to Rachel.
Well, I didn't even know he'd crashed when I come to the grid. I seen he'd gone down, but the problem is he hadn't bid another set in, and he was actually worried about his last set that he had. But mine are slightly bigger, so I'm obviously with the same manufacturer, so I just said, look, I'll go and grab mine, run my gloves, and yeah, let's see, he'll be all right.
How difficult is that though, Jake? You know, mentally to get back, he's obviously fighting for the title here.
Difficult, but you'll see, he'll go and smash it now.
Thank you, Jake.
So, Will Sasaki having a little issue out there on the circuit, but hey-ho, it's all looking good, all looking great news. Hello everybody, good morning to you. Well done for getting up or staying up and joining us live on Twitch for the Moto3 race. We're delayed on YouTube later on, but live here on Twitch for Moto3. Let's go over straight away to Susie Perry.
Thankfully, that's quite rare now, but that meant then sacrifice means you're incredibly stiff, Susie. So the last thing you'd want to do is try and set off from the start ready for the brand new set, because imagine the feeling that goes through your hands. That's where, you know, the feeling and understanding of the limit is through your hands and your bum, really.
Yeah, well, that story, obviously, we haven't talked too much about what's going on the grid, but we've got Jama Masia in second, who's heading the championship. And we know that Foggia won on his bike last year, on this Honda. He can ride this Honda, bizarrely, but he's doing so well.
So well. It's a fast-flowing track, this. When you think about that, you always think about the Honda. The KTM likes a more stop-start style, so Masia's on another level.
Let's see what he can do in this one then. David Alonso in third, Masia second, and in pole position, Diogo Moreira. Emlav is alongside Gavin Emmett this morning. Hello.
Morning, Susie. So here we go then. Let's see what we've got to offer for Moto3, the first race of the day here from Lombeck. Let's see what we can do. Fingers crossed for a great race, because this is going to be an absolute cracker. The Moto3 Grand Prix is about to get underway. This is your starting grid then. Diego Monreal on pole position. Juan Garcia alongside David Alonso. Colin Vigia alongside Dennis Onchu and Tassuza Furuzzo starts P6. Stefano Nepa, who starts in P9, has crashed into yellow in yellow flag practice 1. So he has been given a long lap penalty. Daniel Hologado 7th, Matteo Bertoletti is in 8th, followed by Munoz. Sazaki's crashed his wall up 11th. Ortola starts down in 12th position. Moving further down on the grid as well, starting 13th for Kelso. Fernandez is 14th. Atima is in 15th. Ruda 16th. Ogden is 17th. And Joshua Whiteley starts in 18th position. Further down on the grid then as well, 19th for Yamanaka, Riccardo Rossi 20th, Mario Agi is 21st, Toba, Caro and Felon down in 27th position. Then it's Carrisso, Artegas, Fooli, Asman and Deltweller down in last position.
During qualifying yesterday, he's okay, just a bit of soreness in his wrist, so hopefully he can get through, because these conditions are oppressive. Really oppressive. As Susie and the gang mentioned, we're getting near to 60 degrees of track temperature. You know, that is unheard of, really, and record temperatures being recorded from the tyre manufacturers. They have effectively, MotoGP, Michelin have strongly advised against the riders using the soft option tyre, which was why it was a surprise during warm-up to see so many riders running with that soft option rear tyre. It is treacherous, as we saw on that outlap. It was either a turn 7 or 9 around there. We couldn't quite tell from Ayumu Sasaki's bike. I think it was through here, through this turn 9 little kink as you go back onto the straight. Just caught the inside curve. There you can see the confirmation of the temperatures. 34 degrees Celsius in the air. That's 93 Fahrenheit. Come well into the 130s then for track temperature. 58 degrees Celsius on the racetrack. A beautiful location, and poor old Michael's had to run back in those conditions. He's finally made it alongside me in the commentary box. Ayumu Sasaki running with Jake Dixon's gloves on for this race. At least he's got a running set of gloves to hand, if you pardon the pun. But he needs it, doesn't he, Michael? Because, you know, with 6 races in 7 weekends, this one's vital to start the momentum and capture it back from Masia.
Indeed, he needs to stop the train that is Yama Masia. You don't want to be crashing in your sight lap on a weekend when it's not looked overly comfortable for Ayumu. It's been a bit of a struggle, and obviously Jama's been on a run. He's been clawing back the points lead. He's actually, I think, the man that they all have to focus on to try and stop him at the moment. So Ayumu, yeah, running with Jigdix gloves. They're a size bigger as well. You sometimes have a little bit of excess bit of leather at the end of your fingers, and it can make it uncomfortable or not as sensitive feeling with the clutch and the front brake lever. So, but hopefully he'll not even think about that. He'll be able to go when the lights go out.
It could work one of two ways, couldn't it? It could be a distraction, or it could. The adrenaline burst could hone in that focus.
Yep, we're going to find out, though, because we're under starters' orders then. It is round 15 of the Moto3 World Championship here in Indonesia, Lombok. Pole position to Diego Monrella. Juan Masia is second. David Alonso starts in third position. It's all eyes to the lights here in Moto3s. 5 of them are on. Lights out, race on in Indonesia. Great start from Masia. Great start coming through as well, actually, from Colin Vija. He's going to go second position side by side with David Alonso down towards turn 1. Vija takes second position. Great launch from there. Monrella leads. And up the inside, Alonso's going to try and take out second position. Meantime, further back, who's that going with? It's Mario Argi and Filippo Ferroni getting forced out wide further back. Great start from Monrella, though, as we come into turn 2 and 3 and 4. The switchback chicane area before it opens up nicely through 5, 6 and 7. The sort of triple open right-handers as they fly through. It's Alonso leading, so it's Monrella leading from Alonso, Vija, Ortola up to 4th, Fiorizzo to 5th, Holgado down into 6th position. Not a great start there for what we were expecting. I was thinking that we're going to see a nice smooth getaway, but they've all sort of stalled at the start, all having troubles to get away, as up the inside, Holgado trying to take out a position as well. That's on the inside of Fiorizzo and Ortola. Ortola's not going to get that one out without a fight, and doesn't, so Holgado loses out on another 2 positions as they fly back through into turn 9 and 10. And they sweep through Monrella, Vija, Alonso, Ortola, Holgado, Fiorizzo ahead of Masia. Masia down into 7th position. Started second, remember, on this opening lap, so he's already lost out on several thousand positions to try and come through. There's Nepper's long lap penalty getting confirmed as well on your timing screen. As Vija and Holgado going to go on the inside of 2 here. Going to get Alonso and Ortola on the inside line coming into turn 15 and 16 and goes through. Riders going out wide as well. Munoz passes on Chu and Toma drops back. And I think it was actually Argi who's dropped back. Yeah, Mario Argi dropping down to 28th position. Across the line there to complete lap 1. Monrella, Vija, Holgado, Alonso, Ortola, Fiorizzo, Masia, Munoz, Onchu, Bertoletti up in 10th position as well as they come through. Vija still trying on the back of Monrella. Great start from everyone.
Trying to protect off and almost box in Jaume Masia, but he actually had such a good jump. He was clear of the field, then drifted back over onto the clean part of the racetrack. Yeah,
the pole is actually not on the rubber part of the racetrack, so he's just trying to make sure he had the rubber underneath him, and it worked, didn't it? Here is where we saw earlier today. That was where
Holgado's taking second.
Down the inside of Fire. Fire was up, actually getting the draft through those fast right-handers, and Marrero was where he wanted to be. It put him slightly out onto the dirtier part of the track, and all of a sudden, Holgado was able to take advantage.
Oh, we've had a jump start for Ivan Ortola there, the number 48,
as Holgado takes the lead on the inside line. Daniel Holgado takes the lead away from Diego Monrella. Colin Vija, or Colin Vija, whichever you pronounce it, you prefer, he's in 3rd position, and Ortola's up 6 places, but Ortola did jump the start, so he's been given a double long lap penalty by the stewards for jumping the start. Not great news there as well. Ricardo Rossi and Kaito Toba up 5 places, but Daniel Holgado, championship leader, up 6 places from where he started in P7, now leads this race. Great getaway from him as they continue to order themselves around on this circuit right now. Holgado leads, Vija from Monrella, Alonso in there as well. So 18 laps to go, and everyone just finding their best times as they come across the line. So, Masia does a 1:39.592. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far, as we've got a 3-way fight down to turn 1 with Vi on the inside line, Monrella there too, but Holgado keeps that lead of the race, so he's not going to lose out on much time there. From what is our understanding of the race control stewards, they are not going to give any more penalties. It was a clean from everybody else, as we see Otola take his first of double long lap penalties now out on the circuit. So that's one complete. He'll have to do another later on in this race. Well, on the next lap, actually. He'll have to signal to go through it for a second time. There's no ifs or buts on that one. I'm afraid he'll have to go through once again to take it, as I'm trying to get my timing screen not to zoom in. Something's gone wrong with it as they come through. Again, a little bit of action, a little bit of tenseness now on the circuit as everyone starts to find in exactly how much grip they've got on this circuit. Don't forget, it's a green track. It's an extremely green circuit. It doesn't work as best as everybody think it does. So you've got to find the right grip, as Monrella, I believe, has taken... No, that's Colin Via. Via's taken the lead away from Hologado, and Messia is back up into third position. In the space of 3 corners, the lead has changed again. Hologado's trying to go on the inside of Via, coming towards turn 14. No, not going to get away through there. Messia's now in the mix. What a great couple of corners that was.
There from Holgado.
He just turns underneath him.
Holgado takes the lead.
More than anything, he felt that Via was just running deep. There are a couple of lines through there. The perfect racing line, Michael, actually holds the door wide open.
Yeah, when you come through the fast kink at turn 15, drifting all the way out to the outside, it is the fastest line in qualifying, but as we just witnessed, it leaves the door wide open so someone can square it up and stick the, especially a Moto3 bike, stick it up the inside.
Kelso
actually had to go through Q1 on Saturday. So, you know, actually could well have helped that extra 15 minutes. We heard Jake Dixon say it sorted his setting out. For Via, who hasn't had as much time on the bike, as you see Stefano Nepper now take his medicine. That's his 1 long lap done. Ortola will have another to do as he drops in the realms of Xavier Artigas. That's down into 18th place, still ahead of Ayumu Sasaki. That's how far back Sasaki is.
And just looking fastest lap of the race, the man who moved up to 11th. Wildcard Indonesian rider, Aditama. What a first few laps for Arby. You can see him, the red bike at the top of the shot with the famous 93 for his hero, Marc Marquez.
Yeah, I was chatting to a few Indonesian people yesterday about Aditama, and they all thought, oh, they are just asking how well will he do. I said, if he gets in the points, that's brilliant. And they said, oh, he can't go any higher. I said, look in the points, he's absolutely brilliant. It's his first Grand Prix.
Yellow flag.
And look where he is, yeah.
Anna Carisso's crashed out. Anna Carisso's crashed out of the race, according to our driver tracker. So she is out. That's a shame, massive shame.
It's his first GP. He's won a junior GP race this year, but to arrive in Indonesia, obviously buoyed by the hope support.
Oh, she's in the middle of the track.
Turn 10, that one, and unfortunately, she doesn't look in good nick. Let's just see.
Oh, a massive high side, my goodness me.
Onto her shoulder and back. We know she's had her back issues. If you've seen the scar on her back, it is horrific. And that's right in an area which I'm sure is always pretty sore for her. So hopefully Anna's okay. That will have winded her, Mike.
Yeah, that was an awkward crash because she took the front, and then whenever it found grip again, it high-sided her. You don't normally get a high-side from a front-end tuck, but unfortunately, slick track conditions such as this, they do sometimes give us some weird crashes, the way the bike reacts whenever it finds the traction.
So, across the line, Ayumu Sasaki just had his personal best lap. He's got similar times to the leaders. The thing about Sasaki is he should do well in terms of tyres. I spoke to Joel Kelso, who's running in 8th, having a great race.
Another yellow sector 3.
He said he's got no problems whatsoever. In fact, not a mark on his tyres.
Ortola has completed his double long lap penalty as there's another yellow flag in sector 3. There's somebody else gone down. I don't think it's still helping Anna Carisso. She's been taken away on a stretcher, so I hope she's okay. That is a nasty accident, as we saw a second ago. Flicked up in the air, comes down on her back and on her shoulder as well. So I hope Anna is okay. And she'll go to the medical centre, we're being told. So not the best start to race day that we wanted. Hopefully she's okay ASAP. Hologado leads, Messia, Vija ahead of Alonso, Monrella, Munoz, Onchu, Farizzo, Kelso, Bertoletti inside the top 10. Then we go down with Bruder, Ataman, Rossi, Adrian Fernandez, Toba, Ortola down into 16th, Nepper 17th. So the two Angelus MTA team bikes on the KTMs down with double long lap penalties as we saw earlier on in the race. 15 laps to go. It's lap 6 of 15 now as we head down towards turn number 1. So just find the right time, just find the correct situation to push as we just find out why we've been so loud over the past 15 minutes. Apologies if the audios were off. Looked like someone's knocked the lead team in the commentary box. Did Sasaki jump the start, or did Sasaki just not start? Sasaki got a very bad getaway. Didn't notice that from the initial launch, but Sasaki looked like he almost stalled on the grid. He did not get the best getaway. I apologise if we've been a bit loud in the first half of this race, and in the reds, someone knocked out the double output leads a little bit, and then we've only just looked down and noticed that they were up a little bit. So we've adjusted that now. As Holgado leads from Masia, Alonso, Via, and then Monrella coming into the mix.
With Masia in second, Alonso in third, Via in fourth, and then Moreira in fifth. They're sort of the riders. Ayumi Sasaki in there, they were the ones that we expected to have the pace today, and they're just starting to stretch out in front of David Munoz. But this battling will help Munoz, help the group stay together.
Oops.
Wow, Via just hung in there, didn't he? Right to the end into turn 16.
Yeah, the narrow line that's clean on the run through 16. It was difficult. We've seen yesterday Aleix Espargaro trying to pull off the move on Brad Binder, but the wide MotoGP bike with all the aero, there's not a lot of room to slide through, but on a Moto3 machine, you can almost stick 3 of these little bikes on the clean part of the racetrack, so it does open up some opportunities around the Mandalika circuit that aren't available to the MotoGP riders.
There's Ortola, having done his double long lap penalty now. He is back in front of Ayumi Sasaki. That quantifies just how much of a tough race Sasaki is having. And I will point out the fact that since he had the no score in the USA, Ayumu, his worst result is a 7th. One of those, that was in San Marino, when he had a sticky weekend. And his others, it's all been top 4. This is way off where we would expect Sasaki to be as they all fan out 5 across. Brave from the likes of Masia and Alonso.
Great turn 4, and Alonso goes through to third.
That's in turn 10.
Yeah, repaying the favour that Colin Fire pulled into the final turn, but it was nice and clean. Just pushed Colin a little bit onto the dirtier part of the racetrack, and he was thinking about the switch back move that we've seen Jorge Martin pull off yesterday on the run through turn 11.
Well, for fans of Moto3 chaos, David Munoz and Dennis Onchu sit at the back of this group, and they've been brought back into it with all the moves going on ahead. So don't worry, it will ensue. I've noticed a lot, Daniel Garlo likes this tight line into turn 16. It's a good line to have in your arsenal.
Just give the little seat tap to Jaume Masia, which Jaume will probably ignore, and maybe stick it up the inside into turn 1.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I do think, I agree, Holgado's riding style is a little more point and squirt than Jaume, so it does seem like the KTM's working, trail braking all the way in, and just parking it in the last turn. Jaume wants to roll through the apex a little faster.
So at the moment, Masia leads 2:19 to Holgado, 4 points back in the standings. Sasaki 26 back, Alonso 43 back, and these are the runners in the top of this race. So we really are seeing the champions ride together right now out here on the circuit. Holgado 4 points back to Masia, who took the lead last time out in the championship, of course, at the Japanese Grand Prix. So there's a lot more riding on this than anybody actually believes, as they try and hug through on the inside line. Monrella on the back of Via. Onchu coming through. Via's going to go for a move. Via's going to go for Alonso. This is great stuff. And Masia's going to go for the lead. Holgado's going to break lane as well. He gets in. Right back. Via around the outside of Alonso. Coming into turn 10 and takes the position back. Cracking couple of corners going on here. They really are fighting hard. And they need to fight hard because we've got another 13 laps of this in the Moto3 category. So there's a long way to go, there's a long way to fight as Holgado shuts down the inside line. Masia hunting him in right behind, Alonso coming in as well. And what an interesting little battle this is turning out to be. So much more fun, so much more interest in this race. With 13 laps to go on the inside line, just a little bit of a distance between them. Timing screen still looking okay. Mine's frozen up here in the commentary box, I've just noticed, so we'll get that sorted now as they go on the attack. Across the line then, Holgado leads the championship, and him and Masia, now with Colin Via down into position, the championship is level. 2:15 to Holgado, 2:15 to Masia. That is as things stand. So right now, it is level in this championship. You don't always expect to see that, but it is. It is level in the championship as things stand. I quite like that idea. Going into the last few races, Moto3 is going to be electric by the time we get to the last race of the season in Valencia. Let's follow via on the inside line. And Onchu and Monrella have made a bit of an incident together. Oh, Onchu nearly getting checked out there by Monrella coming into turn 11. And that's allowed Munoz to go back through on the inside.
As we come through the final corner on board with Alonso. More shenanigans as Via hangs on in front of Mazia. I do like Colin Via. I think he's got to the stage of this rookie season where he fully deserves a podium, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You felt for him in India.
Yeah.
Little change in the midfield there.
For the young Dutchman. He was riding so well, and last lap, podium just snatched from his he had it in hand. I felt he really deserved it. So a shame, but it looks like he's going to make amends today with the current pace. He looks really comfortable at the head of the field and able to close the gap back onto Holgado in just half a lap. So Holgado had 3/10 of an advantage, and all of a sudden Collins back on his rear wheel.
Front group, you can see John Kelso just towards the back. It's Rueda actually rounding out that front group of 11. Further back.
Can't even hear Gavin Emmett there, so I'll take over. Monrella in 4th position, 1:39.048 as they blast past the start-finish line here down towards turn number 1. There's a battle further back. That's Sasaki down in 20th position at the moment, or Tola in 18th. Sasaki, don't forget, who crashed on the way to the grid, is wearing Sam Lowe's gloves and is also now down in 20th position after stalling on the grid. So not the best day for Umul Sasaki out there at the moment. Championship still the same. 2:15 each to Holgado and Masia as we see Via fighting him on with 11 laps to go. We're halfway there.
As I said, sometimes you put on gloves that are a little bit too big, and it's just not, it doesn't give you the feel. Dexterity is key on these bikes for feeling with
Fernandez has crashed. Fernandez has crashed out sector 2. Fernandez is down on the deck and is falling. So Adrian Fernandez has crashed out of this race. Here he is. And what part of the track has he gone down out of? It's sector 2. I'm thinking it's turn 5 and 6. It is 5 and 6, just on the exit there, the double curve. So he's just dropped the front and got into the gravel. So he's out of the race then, as Holgado leads, and Masia's up to 3rd, passing Monrella.
You think you need a break? You're going to bring Adrian in for a couple of races. And Suzuki, I think quite rightly, has told them, well, I'm going to forget it then.
Yeah.
It's not going to be right for you again this season.
Yeah, exactly. It was, Munoz just laying it in under Jama Masia, turned 16. But yeah, I can feel for Tatsuki Suzuki. He didn't like being told to stand down for 2 races to rest. They said his head wasn't in it. He had a few crashes, a few injuries earlier in the season. Give Adrian a couple of races here in the flyaways to let him learn these circuits because he's riding for us next year. And then Tatsuki said,
New fast lap for Farizzo, 1:38.959, new best lap record around this circuit.
Tayo Furusato's fastest rider on the racetrack here, Michael. I really like the look of Tayo this weekend. He's looked really on it.
he's shown some really good signs in India as well. He was impressive in the early laps, but couldn't maintain touch with the lead group. But today, he's actually worked hard. He's got Bertelli a little bit behind him. Oh, that's a mistake from Onchu out onto the red paint on the outside of the track.
And Onchu's down 7th.
Here, in terms of holding on and keeping in touch with the front group, because they are pushing on the pace, as we said. Fast lap from Furusato, but also from Munoz beforehand. All personal best laps for pretty much all of the top 9.
And on the inside line, Monrella takes Via. Monrella up into P2 with a great little lunge down at 5 and 6. And Ana Carrizo has been taken to the medical centre for a checkup.
For a checkup, not surprising. It was an ugly-looking high side.
Yeah, an awkward throw into the ground. So fingers crossed Anna's okay. But yeah, she did look a little bit winded. So go to the medical centre for a checkup, and hopefully she'll be back on the grid next weekend in Australia.
She's made of tough stuff, is Ana Carrasco.
Holgado is starting number 3 points to Masia.
Holgado looking back at the number 10 of Diogo Moreira. Colin Via is not shy, is he? When it comes to overtaking, he just rubbed up the side of Moreira's bike and takes over in second place, chasing Holgado, who is, Michael, in exactly the spot he loves to be. Where Jama Masia is happy to sit in this group, happy, in inverted commas, you know. The fact is, he's not doing anything too rash at the moment. Olgado loves to lead.
Yeah, he does. And we haven't seen it for a few rounds where he's been as comfortable at the front, but he's back in his rhythm here. It seemed that way from free practice 1 this weekend. He clicked with the racetrack, the bike worked, and he was the Danny Holgado from the opening, half of the season pretty much, where he could get out front. Racecraft-wise, he's very clever, but it does look like the gaggle of KTMs and Husqvarnas around Masia, not allowing Masia to run the lines that he has executed so well throughout practice. It does seem like the lone Honda in the lead group not able to really use its potential. You can see the KTMs have a different strength in other areas of the racetrack as he gets squashed.
Morello going to take the lead.
No. Group of 6 forming. They need
Whoa.
moments like this as Masia and Via touch there through turn 10, and again
Onchu on the red.
Onchu off the edge of the racetrack. That won't be a track limits warning though, will it? Because it's not green paint out there and the curbs are supposed to effectively do their job.
Yeah, obviously the red paint you see on the outside, it's not track limits because the curbs are deemed a disadvantage enough because of those big serrations right at the very edge. They do upset the bike enough and really they can't damage the wheels on these Moto3 bikes because of the small sidewall in the tyre.
What's your thoughts? I've heard so many opinions as we just watched them. Let's watch them through turn 16 first of all, as Via levels off Masia in there and blocks him into 16 and then into 17. What's your opinions on these new heavier curbs, shall we say, steeper curbs?
Yeah, the Dragon's Teeth, as Neil was calling them, I think it works because you don't want these penalties that we've been talking so much
Ogden's
about in
crashed.
recent years.
Scott Ogden's crashed.
It ruins the racing for me, so I think actually a bit more of a natural deterrent to go out onto the track limits is a better scenario. And the way they are designed, that's Scott's crashed again.
Yeah, and it's in turn 16. Do you know what? He just
the Marshall's crashed.
Marshall down as well. Hopefully Ryder okay on that one. But Ogden was doing really well, actually. I was about to point out he just did a personal best lap and was sticking with Yamanaka. He pulled 2 seconds on Sasaki.
Fred's going to dip.
And he was just catching up with Yamanaka right at the apex.
Lost the front right at the apex. Yeah, he'd had to work hard. You could see Sasaki all the way back there. He'd closed the gap across to the group in front with Yamanaka or Tola.
And Monrella takes the lead of the race. He's almost touching the green coming down into turn 6 and 7. That was great stuff from Monrella. And now we've got Via under pressure from Masia and Alonso. And Alonso takes over from Masia as well. So they're in a little bit of a ding-dong battle between each other. Hologado now losing out the championship lead. And Masia going to go right through on the inside of Alonso. And Alonso is going to get through on the inside line of the curb as well. Try and come back. And Alonso, no, not the right time. And I think Monrella did touch the green there, so we might have to give the place back to Hologado. I think he touched the green just a bit too much. But did Alonso get ahead of Masia? Yes, he did. Alonso ahead of Masia for 4th place. So that move has now been completed. So now he's on the back of Via in 3rd. But Monrella should really get that place back. There'll be a call on the pit board saying, give that position back. Give that position back. You don't want to get a penalty from race control. But at this point, it will be a long lap loop. And at this stage of the race, it will kill any opportunity you have to win it. Because there's not that long left in this Grand Prix here of Indonesia for the Moto3, and Hologado just goes through anyway on the inside line at turn 1. And Monrella goes right back at him, side by side, almost touching. It's handlebar to handlebar, and that's going to allow Alonso to take 3rd position, away from Via. Hologado leads the race though, he's got back ahead, which is exactly what he needed to do. And Masia now leads the title. They're level on points again. Masia and Hologado, 210 points apiece as things stand with 7 laps to go.
The Hondas
have
really
leads
on it this weekend, and so could well get
Oh,
involved.
and Hologado's on the green.
This kind of thing continues.
Yep, was Holgado using the same line as Moreira at the previous lap, straight across the green paint. So you're right on that one, Gav. That's going to
that's tight contact between Munoz and Alonso through turn 10, and Colin Wyatt will just take advantage.
Munoz getting involved. You did call it, Gav. And it allows the move has allowed Furosado to get right into the draft now.
There we are. That was the move where Daniel Gardo's taken the lead. So surely that can't be allowed. You can't go that far off the racetrack. No. That's cutting the course.
Oh, that was proper hard
contact. Well, when did it the last lap?
Yeah, just a little bulldoze right through the inside of David Munoz's leg.
So he's taken the lead there, though, Michael, by completely shortcutting.
Yeah.
Now, you're supposed to follow the line there, aren't you, to rejoin the racetrack? You can't.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. There is
the rejoin in the end lane. The problem is, Moreira took the lead off him by doing the same.
Yeah, the last lap, yeah.
I'm not sure which way round it goes now.
Well, I don't know if Monrella's going to have... I think they're both under a penalty for a long lap, possibly. So Masia could take the lead. Hologardo's hot-headedness has cost him this year before, and that little deliberate run across the green, just to sort of shut the door on Monrella, could have just cost him the World Championship. I'm not even kidding, because he could get a long lap penalty now. Hologardo has now been given a long lap penalty for cutting the course. So Hologardo, that is crucial. Absolutely crucial in this year's Moto3 World Championship. Hologardo has been given a long lap penalty for cutting the course. And now look at that, Monrella's cutting the course. He's taken a shortcut through. So Hologardo's forced off Monrella. Now Masia takes second. Vaya ahead then with Alonso. Alonso ahead of Vaya. And, well, Hologardo is going to get a black flag at this point if he's not careful. His hot-headedness is costing him again. So it is a long lap penalty confirmed for Daniel Hologardo for cutting the course. So he's been given the decision. So now, shortcut at turn 9. Yeah, exactly where the green is. So now, this is going to mean Hologardo is going to drop back to, what, 9th position? 10th maybe? And that's going to allow Masia to extend the lead of the championship. And Alonso on the inside line of Masia as well. Takes the inside line at 15. Masia's going to try and get it back at 16. No, so Alonso has effectively the net lead of this race. Hologardo will now get the pit board with the black and white flag. And the board's telling, there it is. You've got a long lap penalty, my friend. And you must take that this lap. So 5 to go here in Lombeck, and Masia takes Alonso into turn 1. Vaya's going to go through as well. He's found the opportunity that he was looking for. A little bit of contact between them. And now Masia's going to take the lead of the race as Hologardo goes through the long lap penalty loop. He jumps to the back of this train now, and he comes out behind, I think, Onchu and Ruda maybe? I think he's in 10th there. Yeah, he comes out behind Ruda. So Hologardo goes from 1st to 10th with one simple mistake that could cost him the World Championship. Masia is now 28 points ahead in the championship to Hologardo. Wow.
There's a shift in just meters of track, so obviously he will gain back some places. I think with look, yeah, you can see that again. It's a big cut, but as Hologardo re-entered, he sort of waved to Moreira as if to say, I'm redoing you back for what you done to me the lap before.
You know, I'm trying to watch from about 8 screens here. We've got another camera on the helicopter, and I'm sure Masia did something on the inside on that last lap, but again, it's because there's so much going on with replays and that, I'm not quite sure what I'm witnessing. So anyway, we'll have to keep our eye on this one, because if I could go back and review a couple of those runs through turns 7, 8, 9 on a couple of laps, there may well be more penalties at stake, or penalties to come here, as David Munoz now comes to the inside of Colin Vaya. Remember, Munoz still looking for his first win in Moto3. All this time, got Masia in the front.
4 to go.
So he's just been sat there. And Tayo Furusato now up to 5th.
Impressive stuff from the young Japanese rider. He's looked good all weekend. As you mentioned, strong in India as well. Similar in terms of temperature. And
oh, Monrella, shortcut turns 8, 9, no further action for sufficient time lost. That's controversial.
Made some nice overtakes. So, yeah, potential podium for Tayo would be a bit special here.
A bit slower in that little part of the racetrack. And now it should be in this part of the racetrack where the Honda should work best. It's a Honda leading. In the Leopard colours of Jaume Masia. We'll keep a close eye on them through this run. This is where you can just have a look on the inside of a couple of these curbs. That's through turn 7. And there you can see that green paint. Everyone's so close to it on the run through 9. Now David Alonso. Oh, he's going to be attacked here by David Munoz. You can see...
Oh, he's forced him out of the way.
It's the second contact he's made in turn 10 on David Alonso. I think Alonso will be getting annoyed. He will repay the favour to David Munoz for too long.
What he did there is he tried to muscle it out, didn't he, on fire. But Munoz has this way of passing, and it is basically not just a block pass, is it? It's moving someone out, and on a narrow line like this, I don't think Alonso will take too kindly to that, because you can see actually Alonso, he could have done the same to Jaume Masia at that corner, but decided against it.
Yeah, Munoz doesn't use much caution whenever he's making the overtakes. He tries to do them clean, but if it's not happening clean, look at this.
This is payback
Alonso.
straight away, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there it is. You do that to me, and this is the law of the jungle in Moto3, isn't it?
It is. Unfortunately, you're poking the bear with David Munoz, so you hit it back, and he's going to hit you back twice as hard. So I'm happy that Alonso did, because you do need to stand your ground. You need to fight it with someone like David Munoz.
Fair play to Danny Olgado. Fastest lap of the race. With well, that was with 4 to go. It's 3 to go now, and Danny Olgado is back in this. He's up to 9. He's taken a long lap penalty, and here he comes again on Matteo Bertelli. He means business. This is a cracking ride from Olgado. If he's able to come back and challenge for the podium, this will go down as one of his best.
Impressive lap there. So he really got his head down. Brought Jose Antonio Rueda across as well.
Oh,
Immediately
it's Alonso Munoz getting in face.
No time. Similar for Colin Bayer there.
Oh, and it's almost contact with turn 6 and 7 complex as well into 7 and 8. Really close as we come through 9 as Masia takes the lead. Munoz up into second position, and Hologato's right up there as well. We've got 4 wide coming into the hairpin in turn 10. Really strong stuff, and Hologato's going to make his way back up here. He's only 7 tenths away from Masia, and he gets ahead now of Alonso. So I think Hologato's up into 5th position. He is indeed. Yamanaka, shortcut turn 14. He's been given a long lap penalty as well, but he's not in this fight. He's down in 15th position. Munoz going for his first ever win in the Moto3 category after his 25th Grand Prix start. He is now right behind Masia. He's going to go for it, and oh no, Masia shuts the door. Coming through turns 13 and 14, so he's not going to get it there. Into the braking zone then for turn 15. Swings it through into 16, then down into turn 17. The last corner on this track, a quick flick to the left. 2 more laps then here at the Indonesian Grand Prix of Moto3 as they hurtle down across the start line towards turn number 1. Masia leads, Munoz, Monrella, Villa ahead of, actually Via's up into 4th position now as they switch back through. Olgado's come back into it. I think Hologado, yep, and then we've got Alonso and Onchu down in 6th and 7th. So Monrella up to 3rd position, Via down to 4th, and Munoz desperately trying to get ahead of Masia. Really close stuff.
And he's only been able to get up to 18th.
Oh, and Munoz goes right round the outside. Incredible! Incredible move there from David Munoz. He takes the lead. Masia down to 2nd. Now we're seeing Monrella, Via, and Hologado. And Hologado's been given a long lap penalty. Hologado has been given another long lap penalty by the stewards as Masia takes the lead away from Munoz. It's 7 wide into turn 1. Hologado's going to take the lead. He's going to try and break, and he runs out Masia. He runs out Masia. How crucial is that for the World Championship? Hologado's hot head once again. He's been given another long lap penalty, and he's just run out his only championship rival of Masia. And now Masia's on the outside. Shortcut at turn 9 for Hologado again. So he's been given another long lap penalty. Munoz on the inside of Alonso. Monrella has the lead of this race. Masia getting forced out by Daniel Hologado. He's down into 6th position. He still leads the title, but now he's only down to 8 points. It will be more though, as we see a 3-wide manoeuvre going on. Alonso trying to go on the outside of Munoz. Hologado being passed by Onchu coming through. Onchu now losing out. It's going to be one more lap, but minus Hologado. He'll get the penalty for that long lap. Last lap then of the Moto3 Indonesian Grand Prix. It's Diego Monrella leading. David Munoz in 2nd position as they come through. I'm just trying to work out as well as we see Hologado on the inside line of Alonso in towards turn 1. Monrella hasn't won a race before, neither has Munoz. So these two at the moment on course for their first wins. Whoever finishes ahead. Masia leads the title, 2:10 to 2:06 to Hologado, but Hologado's going to get a penalty here for a long lap. He's going to have to take it. Alonso will be in 3rd position as things stand, so it's all eyes up front between Munoz and Monrella as Hologado continues to follow in. He's going to have to take this penalty. It will drop him right to the back here, so I hope he takes that penalty soon as, Hologado's going to go for it. And Hologado takes 2nd. He's going to go for the lead of the race. Going to tail brake again. Monrella goes in too deep. Monrella sees it coming, gets the comeback. Hologado retakes the lead. And I really hope he knows about this penalty. Otherwise, it won't be taken. It's down at this part of the track that he has to take the long lap penalty. He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it. Hologado does not know about the long lap penalty. Monrella, though, has taken the lead of this race once again. Alonso's coming through on the inside line. And there goes Munoz. As Hologado getting forced out now. He's battling with Masia. And that's Munoz on the inside line. Brilliant stuff. Monrella leads this race from Alonso. Munoz down to 3rd. Via 4th. Masia 5th. Ruda, Onchu, Hologado down to 8th position. It's a massive mayhem as they come through towards the line. Alonso's right there for his 3rd ever win. But Monrella and Munoz go go for it. Coming out the last corner, Diego Monrella's there. It's 3 wide as the exit. They take the checkered flag. Who's going to win the race across the line? Diego Monreira wins his first ever race in Moto3. Fantastic race across the line. David Alonso in second. David Munoz in third. It's DM on the podium as Sasaki battles it out across the line as well. What a race. Fantastic Moto3 here. Truly top-notch racing. Diego Monreira wins his first ever race in 34 starts in Moto3. He wins for the first time. Holgado, with that penalty he didn't take, is going to drop down further than 9th for sure. He's waited a long time for that, as Diego Monreira. Really long time. 33 starts. First race came back in Qatar last year. And Holgado been given a 3-second time penalty for failing to comply with the long lap. He stays in 9th position. Controversial race in the Moto3 World Championship, but Diego Monreira wins. So, this is the current results as we find it. It is Diego Monreira who is victorious. David Alonso is second. David Munoz is third. Colin Vire fourth. Jose Antonio Ruda takes fifth. Juan Masia fights back for 6th position. And then we get Tayo Fronizzo 7th. Dennis Onchu 8th. Daniel Holgado does go 9th. He had that time penalty, which puts him a 10th on the count back to Ivan Ortola in 10th. Stefano Nepa is 11th, Matteo Bertoletti 12th, Kaito Toba 13th, Riccardo Rossi 14th, Rushi Yamanaka gets the last point in 15th, Joel Kelso 16th, Arbi Atama is in 17th, Amuro Sasaki 18th, 19th Javier Artegas, Filippo Faroli is 20th, and Nicola Fabio Caro is in 21st, Joshua Whiteley 22nd, Lorenzo Felon 23rd, Sofian Asman is 24th, Mario Agi 25th, Noah Jutoir is in 26th, and Scott Ogden was out as well as Adrian Fernandez and Anna Carrizo. And look at that, Daniel Holgado has been dropped down to 14th place, which means it's Ortola 9th, Nepa 12th, Bertoletti 11th, Toba 12th, Riccardo Rossi 13th, and Daniel Holgado now taking 14th place in the race. In terms of what this does for the World Championship, Juan Masia leads now by 16 points to Amon Sasaki, 209 to 193. Daniel Holgado, 17 points back on 192. David Alonso on 180. Dennis Onju, 155. Ortola, 152. Monreira, 128. And then we get Monreira, 128. Ruda, 111. Munoz 102, Nepa rounds out the top 10 on 96, Toba 91, Via 76, Artegas 65, Yamanaka 63, Suzuki 50, Rossi 48, Salvador 31, Fanati 30, Fiorenzo 27, Bertoletti 26, Ogden 21, Kelso 20, Mino is 17, Ferroli 7, Asman 5, Argi's 4, and it's 1 for Joshua Whiteley. What an amazing Moto3 race we've had. We'll get all the reaction now coming from the TNT Sports as we head towards the podium ceremony as well here. Stay with us live on Twitch and on your watch along on YouTube. Let's hand back over to Indonesia with Gavin Emmett alongside Michael Laverty up for the reaction. But it's going to be quite controversial from a very controversial race here in Indonesia. Let's hand it back over to the boys.
Welcome back to Indonesia, where we are celebrating with Diogo Moreira. We had a panic on our hands a moment ago because David Alonso, when he came into Parc Ferme, parked his bike in the number 1 spot. Now let's have a look through here on the last lap. This is where we were just concerned. Oh, that looks so tight, but it's hard to tell from the helicopter how close Moreira was to the green paint.
Yeah, that's what we thought, that maybe that he had lost the victory, happened to lose 1 spot on the last lap for touching the green paint, but it looks like he's calculated it perfectly. It'd be more than 1 spot because they do calculate that anyone within half a second of you, don't they?
Yeah. So he could have been dropping back 3 or 4 positions there. And then Daniel Holgado did get his penalty applied after the race. We're still going to be looking at a lot of footage after that one, I'm sure. I'm so pleased for him. 19 years old, from Sao Paulo. It's massive, isn't it? We've had a Colombian winner this year, and now a Brazilian winner. 7 different winners we've had in Moto3. But to have 2 South Americans doing it for the continent, well, it's unheard of. It's brilliant for the sport.
It really is. So together on the podium today. But Moreira, we talked about him in the middle part of the season, not delivering what we thought he was capable of. Today he showed how special he is. So he's looked good around this racetrack right from free practice 1, dealt with the slippy conditions better than most, and stands on the top of the step of the podium for the first time.
David Munoz and Moreira shake hands, but I'm not sure if Munoz and Alonso will be doing so. They were knocking lumps out of each other, Michael.
It was good to watch, but yeah, I do agree. I think there'd be a little bit of tension between the number 80 and the 44 going forward and during this podium ceremony.
It felt like a vendetta, didn't it? From one to another. Yeah, do you know what? Diogo's a lovely lad as well, and he's really smart, really switched on. He speaks, obviously, Brazilian, speaks fluent Brazilian Portuguese, and but his Spanish is word for word perfect. He is basically Spanish, spent so long. His dad moved him over when he was in his early teens over to Spain. The first Brazilian winner since Alex Barros, but he speaks English as well as you and I, doesn't he?
Yeah, very multilingual. Skills abound. He's a natural talent. Everything he can do with ease.
So the Andalusian David Munoz takes 3rd place. Let's see what he's got to say to Simon.
David, what a great race and what a fight on that last lap. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the race very crazy for every rider and for me also. But he's happy. It's a good weekend for me and for my team, and very good position for the champions and good. Maybe it's possible a better feeling with the bike, but it's good. Thank you to my team and my family.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
David Munoz described it as crazy, and it was. He said, and me included. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty much the craziest of the crazy, as always, though, and we sort of love that about him. But there's times, some of those manoeuvres where riding through the side of someone, you will get it back at some point.
He does. He floats close to the sun all the time. He's always leery, he's aggressive, but he's good to watch. He's entertaining.
I've not heard that since I was about 12. I love that. That's exactly the right word for him. David Alonso smiles as always. He's got another podium under his belt.
David, there was some hard fighting out there. Congratulations on your work. How do you feel?
Wow, very happy for do another podium because, well, last race we have a little problem and now we stay there on the fight. It's a good position. Today we battle so much on the track. Some riders, I think, on the limit or maybe a step more, but I stay on the bike. I don't crash even of the all amount of touches that I receive. But well, I'm happy because also the bike, we don't put the perfect gear. It was not perfect, but we fight with it. It's good because now we will enjoy tomorrow this country with this podium. We stay in Indonesia, so thanks so much and say hello to all the people who wake up earlier.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's a great character, but I'm not sure he'll be buying a Christmas card for David Munoz. It was quite pointed. I'm not sure it was necessarily about David, but he said some moves were over the limit.
Yeah, the amount of touches he had in the race, obviously we witnessed several of those and they were aggressive. They were a little bit over the line in some instances, but yeah, smiling, stood at the podium, got it done.
Talking about getting it done for the very first time in his young career, Diogo Moreira is a Grand Prix winner.
Pole position and the win, the first time for your country. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm so happy. Only I need to say thanks to all my team, all my staff, all my family, because it was hard to finally win my first race. But yeah, finally I win, and yeah, only say thanks, and we need to keep on this line and try to win more.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
What a race that was. It was just an exceptional start to the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm slightly in shock. Who was it? Alonso said that it was like the limit, if not over. That last lap, Susie. Poof, we've seen some aggressive racing over the years, and we like that. But that was, for me, that was over the limit. It was wild. It was the Wild West.
Yeah.
It was bizarre, really, that no one had a huge crash. I can't believe it. We were lucky.
In the way that it was crazy, it was also kind of controlled in the fact that the respect was there between them. I mean, it was hard fought.
I felt like I disagree. I felt like the respect was there until the last lap. It was, you know, the famous saying. I think Gav probably said this. The gloves are off.
But was it? But would you deem that to be dirty fighting last lap, or just last lap fighting?
No, over the limit, completely riding through everybody, but everyone was doing it. It was like, okay, all right, these are the new rules. We will
There's no rules.
We will adhere to the no rule situation. If you were the stewards and you sit and watch that last lap and you take every pretty much corner by corner, you're in for a shock because honestly, it's wild. Difficult to race against, difficult to predict where you are going to end up because you're going to send it up the inside, you're going to let your brake off, you're going to make contact with someone, but the next corner someone's going to do it to you. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the race a lot, but then part of me, at the end, you're like, I don't always feel like the best man won.
Don't you feel like that today?
No, because I feel like the luck, so much luck comes into it.
You've got to be there, haven't you? You've got to be in it to win it, Neil.
No, what I'm saying is, I like the person with the most talent who's been able to, let's say, a bit skillfully worked his way to the front.
Who do you think should have won?
David Alonso, my favourite.
Oh, he's your favourite?
No, not at all. No. There wasn't a standout person that you said, oh, actually, you'd probably say Algardo had the best speed, but obviously he, for some very bizarre reason, didn't realise you can cut the course and not get a penalty. I mean, I've never known anything like it in my life.
Well, it was a strange story, wasn't it, really? I mean, he was obviously fighting incredibly. Let's go back and have a look then at Danny Holgado. I don't know if we've got time, actually, to have a look at Holgado's race. But it was just incredible to get that long lap penalty, then make another mistake, which we haven't seen yet, to get another long lap penalty, which he didn't take and took a 3-second penalty at the end. Of course, at that situation, you're in the, well, should he have taken the penalty because he could have caused a problem?
Yeah, I think in hindsight, he probably should have taken the penalty, as in done the long lap penalty. He'd probably only lost 2 seconds, not 3, but it'd have been incredibly dangerous because it was super tightly packed at that point, so... Yeah, what a bizarre race.
It was bizarre.
It was. It felt like, just really quickly before we go to the podium, it felt like when I watched the Super Sport 300 races and there's like 20 of them all smashing into each other, I don't really enjoy that much. It's a bit, it's over the limit, it's over the line, and it's a fast track, and I just don't want to see people get injured.
That's just interesting, isn't it? Because really none of the top 3 championship contenders are on the podium.
No, which tells the story of what I feel like I've just said, that let's say the most talented riders don't win. It's just who ends up... We'll all smash it. It's like dodgems. We all smash into each other, and which car doesn't end up on its roof.
Right, OK. Well, let's go and have a look at the podium then. Diogo Moreira's first victory. He is a Grand Prix winner.
He is finally loving Neil's enjoyment of that. I do feel the same as well, but this has been the problem with Moto3, isn't it? And why they're talking about maybe adding a little bit more power to the bikes or something to try and... Because actually, are the better riders always coming through, or is it the one who's got the biggest bumpers on their bikes? Anyway, I'm delighted for the MT Helmets team that they've taken their first win. They've looked so strong, haven't they, with Diogo Moreira over the last couple of years, and finally get that success. Right, David Munoz gets his trophy for 3rd place. That's his 4th podium in Grand Prix racing, and his 2nd of the season after he had a podium in the opener. For David Alonso, an embrace with Jorge Villegas, that's his 5th podium of the year, and actually moves into 29 behind Mazia. The gap between Mazia and Sasaki at 16 when it was at 28 at one point in the race. So he's still got a championship on. Diogo Moreira might not be in that, but finally he will never forget this day. Tears underneath the podium for the press officer Claudia down there. I am so happy for all that team. It's a lovely, lovely team, and they will celebrate today, long into the night, with Diogo Moreira.
A very impressive round of the championship, and now they will take their top honours, and it is here in Indonesia, champagne time. An amazing race then. Thank you very much for your company throughout us all here. We will be back in around about 20 minutes time for all the action for the Moto2 Grand Prix of Indonesia. But congratulations to Diego Monrella, a first ever race win in Moto3. For Moto3, we'll see you in Australia in 7 days time. Bye-bye.